Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. I'm gonna start saying my name now, but my name is Sara L. Miles. No H, okay? No H. But my name is Sara L. Miles. Remember the name, because you might see it somewhere in the future. Today I'm going to be doing, of course, brand of the month. I put on the AOA Studio products. I will just do a little bit of quick housekeeping so that we could just get straight into the video. I did use 2 palettes. I am planning on doing separate videos with these palettes. I feel like they just need their own videos and stuff like that. Also, I did use some products that were not in the initial haul, but that was because those are products that I already owned from AOA Studio. So if you already watched the haul but you were like, you didn't show that in the haul video, well, it's because I already owned it, which I also explained that in the haul video, but you know, whatever. Anyways, go ahead, let's go on to the video. I hope y'all enjoy. Alright, so I'm actually going to start off with the eyes today. I never really do the eyes, but since I'm going to be playing with some, you know, shadow, and there's probably going to be fallout, you know, I'm going to go ahead and play with that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to tell y'all in groups of what I'm using because, you know, story time and I want y'all to hear this. I'm going to be using the AOA Studio Nude Soft Base Eye Primer, and then I'm going to try to use both the Self-Made palette and the Moonstone palette. So back in 2019, there was this tweet that was going viral of this modeling agency that was just opening up called Part and Parcel, and it was more of like a agency where it's like anyone really could apply to, but it definitely looked like it was more geared towards plus size models. You know, at this time I was living in LA, and I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and try, because I was already applying to other agencies and I wasn't hearing anything back. I'm like, you know what, might as well. If I don't hear anything back, I just don't hear anything back. And all the brushes that I am using are all from AOA Studio. I did actually a whole video on these particular 2 brushes that I have. Oh, okay, that was so loud. So I'll go ahead and link that in the card up there if you want to go ahead and see a more in-depth thing, but I'm just going to try to do this. I'm going to go ahead with this shade right here. So I went ahead and I applied for the modeling agency, which was super simple, whatever. So I mean, that was great. And I think that was in November, because I moved to LA in like September. And then October, that was like a rough month for me, so I don't think I really did much, but I think I like applied in November. And then about a month later, it's sometime in December, I got an email saying, congratulations, you are now part of the Part and Parcel modeling agency. And I surprisingly did not freak out. My heart, it like fell into my stomach. And I don't know, I just didn't say anything to anyone for like a good while. I don't know why. But I was super excited and stuff like that, and I was ready for like the next steps and stuff. So they sent an email, I think a little bit later. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this neon yellow right here. Ooh, we getting crazy. So it was about maybe a week later, I don't remember exactly, but they emailed the actual contract to go ahead and sign, and I went ahead and signed it. I was like, oh my goodness, I am finally... Where the pic? Oh, what? Okay. Like, oh my goodness, I am finally a signed model. I've been wanting this for like such a long time and stuff like that. And I think at some point I told people. I just don't remember when. But basically nothing really happened in December because, you know, with holiday and stuff, you know, after signing the contract. This yellow is not doing it for me. I'm actually going to use their color switcher right here to actually clean off this brush, because I accidentally put it in the wrong shade. And I'm going to go in with this type of brush and use their primer spray, and I'm going to dip it back in that yellow and see if it actually does something. So like I said, in December, nothing really happened because of holidays or whatever and blah blah blah, which was fine to me because I had like some other stuff going on around that time. Oh, this is not turning out the way I thought it was going to turn out. The only thing that really happened in December was they added all the models to this social media app. At first they said they were going to like make a group Facebook page where we could all, you know, talk to each other and stuff like that. But they use this this app called Mighty Networks. I think a lot of businesses actually use that app, you know, as a social media thing, so then they could talk to everyone and stuff like that. So they basically made a page on there, and that's basically where we could meet each other and stuff like that. And the reason why they did that, because they said they had like thousands of people apply. Okay, I guess thousands of people apply, and come to find out that they accepted everybody who applied. So I'm like, I'll voice my concerns on that later, but that was kind of odd to me. Oh my gosh, you really gotta pack this on. And I'm now using the pigment palette, Color My World. You really gotta pack this on. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this like peachy shade right here. So not only did they make that social media page for us, you know, meet each other, but that's where we were gonna get like, you know, notices of castings and stuff like that. So I think it was like maybe a week later, there was like maybe 1 or 2 castings already put up, because since they went viral, like not just on Twitter but on the internet as a whole, there were some places that were like, you know, considering, well, not considering, there were some places that were, you know, willing to like book models and stuff like that. One of the big ones was, I think, like this news station was looking for a plus size model spokesperson, something. I forgot, but it was a full-time job. So I don't know if it was like model related or anything, but yeah. Anyways, so I think it was like end of December. They actually put on there that they were going to be holding auditions for their own clothing company. So Part and Parcel, for one, was first known as a clothing company because that's what they are, or were. So they said that now, since they have this agency, of course they're going to be, you know, trying to book models for, you know, other work, but whenever they were going to have auditions, they were only going to be booking their models. So I'm like, okay, great. So they said they were holding auditions at the headquarters for a clothing drop that they were doing soon, and they wanted to hire 5 models. 2 models were going to be featured on the website, and the other 3 were going to be featured on their social media pages. And if you were able to go, you could go ahead and audition. Now, like I said, they went viral. So they had people literally all over the country applying. And like I said, they accepted everyone. So having a bunch of people all over the country, yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, that's not like out of the norm. Like, it's not. But I figure, I mean, most of the modeling castings or auditions will always be, or majority of them will be in LA or New York. So it's like, what about the people on the north side? What about the people on the south side? So their headquarters is located in San Francisco. And like I said, at the time I was living in Los Angeles. So I decided to go ahead and take a Greyhound there. Was kind of scary. Just a little bit, but it actually really wasn't all that bad. So I'm going to take the same brush, and I'm actually going to go with this like burnt orange-ish type of color. It really wasn't that bad. I mean, it was like a 7-8 hour, you know, bus ride. And also literally the next day I had to go on set for a TV show. So I was literally working like damn near 2 days straight. But yeah, that was an interesting thing for me personally. But anyways, so I got there and met most of the models, not most, met some of the models that were willing to go there. There were some of them who of course lived in San Francisco, some of them who lived in, you know, LA, some of them of course lived in California. I think there was a few of them that actually flew in from like out of state for this audition, and I'm thinking, okay, for one, that kind of didn't make sense to me because we weren't going to get paid a lot for it anyways, but also, I mean, it's a good opportunity to meet everybody. So, got there, met people, me being the shy person that I am. No, seriously, y'all don't believe me, but I'm shy. I like barely talk to anyone there. And also, there wasn't many other models like in my age group, so I was like, okay. So, we had like a little meeting the owner, she was saying how happy she was to see all of us, and you know, the reason why she wanted to create this modeling agency and stuff like that. And then also the photographer was, you know, saying his words and stuff, and it was really nice and uplifting, and everybody was uplifting and stuff, and it was really nice. I'm just someone who just doesn't talk to people all that often. After that little thing, they put us into groups, and then they took us into a room, and then we had to do like a mini photo shoot. Oh, also the reason why they wanted as many models to come that day is because the models who did come gets their photos taken not only for the audition but for their portfolios. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this bright red right here. So yeah, so they took us in another room to go ahead and actually do the photo shoot. Like I said, it was for the audition and also for our portfolios. So that was nice. And then afterwards, what happened? Oh, somebody brought donuts. So somebody brought donuts and cookies and all this stuff. See, that was the cool part, is because like that means we can actually eat food. Hello. After we did that, we did this thing in the street, not in the streets, but like on the sidewalk, where like we had to like walk down the sidewalk, and it was like this big thing, and the photographer was doing stuff, and then like people were like watching us do it and stuff like that. So, you know, it was kind of cool. And we got pictures from that too. Yeah, so we did that, and then some models, they went ahead and, you know, kind of got into groups, and they went to go eat lunch and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Me personally, I just didn't want to. I kind of just wanted to be, you know, by myself, because we were also supposed to be getting a call or a text message to let us know if we actually did get the job, because if we did get the job, then we literally had to go back to them like in an hour and actually start working and stuff like that. So I was basically just waiting and stuff, and then I didn't get a call or a text. So basically I was stuck in San Francisco. Not stuck, but like I was in San Francisco all the way until that night, because I had to go on a Greyhound and then literally go on set for something like right as I got off the Greyhound. Next, I'm gonna go with this blue color right here. You know, after not getting the calls, like fine, whatever. I was sad, but I mean, like, it's fine. I'm like, there's gonna be more opportunities for me, you know, come back and potentially get booked for something else. So after that, it was mostly just like castings from, you know, on the app that they were just like sending out to basically everyone, and you know, people would talk on the app and stuff. I really didn't talk all that much on the app though. Once again, I don't know, I kind of feel like I just didn't click with basically anyone. And also, I hope this doesn't sound like rude of me, but it's like, I'm more here to like actually like book work and actually do the work, not necessarily to make friends. That sounds so bad, but it was more like, dude, I'm ready to actually like go out on auditions and stuff like that. That's what I want to do. I don't really like want to talk about everybody's day or, you know, whatever. But yeah, so like I said, they were posting out some castings from some stuff. The castings were few and far in between, and I personally expected that. And then also the castings, like, I get what, you know, Part and Parcel was trying to do, bringing attention to their modeling agency, because it's like, oh, companies, hey, you can hire like bigger models in the size 16, but still some of the castings, not some, basically all the castings were looking for models in size 16 and 18. Sometimes got the occasional 22 to 24, which that's my category. But it's like, it was almost damn near never got like above 24. So it was like, what about the other models in your agency? Literally the day after that, for me personally, it was like really bad. Not with like the agency, just with my life in general. I just kept losing like a lot of stuff, like left and right. And then at some point I tried to self-delete, but obviously, as you can see, that didn't happen. Hey, I'm here. In January is when that audition happened. March is when I started to get kind of better mentally and stuff, and then that's when the Panini press happened. So yeah, it's more like, I wasn't like sad, but it's more like awesome. I get 2 weeks off of work. 2 weeks turned into a year, Sarah. So here we are. I'm gonna go into this bright blue right here to hopefully see more of the blue that's happening. Obviously, when that started, there wasn't really auditions or anything. I mean, like even when I was at work, directors and stuff like that were coming into work saying that they were laid off, and you know, they were just trying to, I guess, enjoy their time just being off for 2 weeks. Little do they know that was going to be longer than 2 weeks. But yeah, I didn't really see much in the group. Honestly, I didn't even really go in the group, to be honest, because it's like, honestly, what's the point? But I would check periodically in the group, and there wasn't really casting. So that's why I'm like, okay, what's the point? So I think it was in, oh my gosh, I don't know if it was in May I checked the group. So I checked the group in May, and then I saw this post, ow! And I saw this post and it said, attention all models, all of your contracts have been voided or will be voided on, I think it was April something, but I checked it in May. So when I checked it, my contract was already voided. And it was because they were closing down the modeling agency because of the pandemonium. So at that moment, once again, I was still recovering from my own stuff. At that moment, I was like, okay, great. Another thing that I just lost. So when I went on there, I hurried up and tried to take like screenshots of like my portfolio. At the time, I don't know if I still have the screenshots. And also I'm such an idiot. So like after the audition, they actually did send us our pictures, but I'm such an idiot that like, I think after the modeling agency closed, I just like deleted the email with all the pictures. So I only got like 2 pictures. I'll put them on the screen. And I use them. But it's like, Sarah, what about the rest? Because you had more and I can't find them. So yeah. So I'll come back to the eyes later. Now I'm going to go into the face. So I'm going to be using their Perfect Filter Primer along with their Buildable Satin foundation, along with their liquid concealers from their Paw Paw collection. I got 3 different shades. And I'm going to be using their setting powders. I got 3 shades here: translucent, warm, and banana. And I'm going to be using their finishing press powder. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it right now, but I'm going to be using this at some point. So when they said they were closing the modeling agency, I really thought they only meant the modeling agency. No, they were closing it all down. They were closing the modeling agency and the clothing company. I'm like, oh, damn. And I guess that was really the story on how I was a model, for a side model, for like 5-6 months. But to be honest, I will say I don't think it was going to be sustainable in the first place. Because for one, y'all said thousands of people went ahead and applied and you accepted everybody. Now, I thought that there was going to be some kind of process where they actually looked at our portfolios or looked at our submissions and stuff like that and chose like who was the best candidates. And I mean, it's not really a problem that they like added everybody, but it's like when it comes to actually booking jobs, brands aren't gonna be as inclusive as we think they are. We would hope so, but to be honest, most brands are still stuck in their ways by the typical conventional beauty standards that have now been placed onto plus size models as well. 2, how are you going to be able to manage all those models? Like, I'm not even kidding. When I went on their modeling page and, you know, saw the models, or saw just like, not just the models, just was looking at the models, they were slowly updating the page, but I remember at some point they had about maybe 20 or 30 models on each page, and they had like over 80 pages. Yo, that's like legit like 2,000 women. Like, what? I personally feel like that having that many models would be kind of overwhelming for any brand that wants to go ahead and actually try to find a model. I think that shade is a little bit too light, just a little bit light, but I think I could make it work. But they did have like a feature where you could filter by size. So if a brand was looking for a certain size model, then I mean, yeah, that's cool. And also the fact that we weren't going to get basically personal agents, which that's not necessarily out of the norm for most agencies, and that's including acting agencies. Sometimes you don't just get like, you know, a personal agent, one agent, maybe assign like a bunch of different clients and stuff like that, which is fine. That is a lot of models. And of course the agency did explicitly say that we're all not guaranteed work, which is obviously true with agencies. Like, you're not guaranteed to book work because it's not in their power to go ahead and give you the job, except for of course when they're doing their own clothing line. But it's really the client, and they can't really like change the client's mind or whatever. I mean, they could try to persuade them to book you or a certain type of model for their thing, but they only could suggest. They can't really like actually, you know, make the client choose, you know, a plethora of models. A little really does go a long way with this concealer, dang. Also, I was wondering, like, you know, having so many models on their roster and also probably not going to manage them properly, what usually agencies do after a while, they go through their roster and they get rid of, like, you know, models and actors who aren't really booking anything, because it's like, well, why should we keep you on our roster if you're not basically making us money? So I was wondering if they were going to do that at some point, but of course we didn't get that far enough to be able to know if they were going to do that at some point. But I feel like they probably weren't going to, which, I mean, that's their, you know, that's their thing. I did see somebody on Twitter, actually no, a couple people on Twitter saying that, for one, it's probably going to be mostly the smaller fats, so basically the smaller plus size models that are going to get most of the jobs. And also they said that they heard that they signed like hundreds or thousands of models. It's like, okay, how are they going to be able to find them all work? Which is like, yeah, it's true. For one, like I said, most of the castings were basically for size 16 and 18 models, barely to size 24 models. So basically 24 or more, I don't know what was going to happen. Oh, and then at some point, what they were trying to do with the social media app, because a lot of models have expressed to the owner that a lot of their friends and families have seen like the community, and they said they would love a community just like that, to be able to, you know, talk about life and stuff like that and dating without feeling like they're being judged, which is true. Oh man, I gotta open these. Powder just went all over my shirt. Thank goodness I am not wearing this at the end of this video. So yeah, so everyone was basically coming to them saying like, oh yeah, my mom would love a community like this, or my friend would love a community like this, my sister would love a community like this. And then the CEO made a video and said that they're basically going to be opening the community to literally the public. And I'm thinking, I thought this was just for the models in the agency. So what they said that they were going to do was they're going to basically open it to the public, but then have a tab for models only where it's like castings and stuff like that. And I'm like, I thought this was going to be a serious thing. Like, what's going on? I mean, I feel like they should have like opened a separate Facebook page and have that open to the public, and then we just keep our own thing. But I don't know, that's them. I honestly thought the story was going to be a lot longer than this. Okay, so I haven't used like stick contour like ever, and these are the only contours that they had on the site. So I'm going to actually just figure out what will be. Oh, right, that is so dark. The best shade for me. That's also way too light. And I'm just going to, I guess, kind of just figure it out. So after it closed down, they kind of were still using the app just a little bit, but more for just like conversational stuff, and I personally didn't care. I actually still have the app, and I think what they were going to do is actually make a separate like Facebook group so that everyone can still be on it and whatnot. If they did, they did. I wouldn't know because I did not join it. I just personally think that it really wasn't going to be sustainable in the long run. I didn't think financially where they had to close down because of the parabola, but I just didn't think it was going to be, like I said, sustainable because of, like, you know, the modeling industry with plus size models. I mean, it has come a long way, but it's still got a long ways to go. And I see what they were trying to do, which is good. They were trying to like make a difference and stuff like that. Okay, am I doing this right? So now what am I doing pertaining to modeling? I'm still submitting to agencies. I actually submitted to the same agency that I submitted to before I submitted to Part and Parcel. I don't know why I did that, because they ignored me the first time and they ignore me now. So I don't even know why the hell I did that. But you know, I guess it was worth a shot. But there are more agencies that are opening up now, and more equal opportunity agencies. So, you know, I'm just trying to do that. I actually recently went to I forgot to say what contour shade I actually used. So I used the shade Spice from their AOA Studio Sculpt FX contour stick. So yeah, I went to a workshop recently here in San Diego because, as you know, I moved back to San Diego. Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. I learned did I learn a lot? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really learn a lot. Not because like it wasn't helpful, it was because like I already knew the stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, thought I was gonna learn something like super new. Well, I did learn a new thing, but yeah, so I'm going back again for another workshop, and then I'm just basically going to ask like 500 million questions, because I'm trying to like really do this, like for real. But I mean, it was fun for those 6 months to say that, hey, I'm a signed model. I guess it was fun. I'm going back with the eyes. I'm going to be doing my eyebrows. So I'm going to be using their Slim Brow Pencil in medium brow. I'm going to be using a brow gel from another brand. And then I'm going to use their liquid eyeliner in black and their buttercream gel liner and shadow in Cupcakes. It's just a blue. I don't know what is up with me in blue. I don't even like the color blue, but I just want to be playing with stuff. Getting into modeling agencies are definitely not easy. You would think it's like, okay, submit pretty pictures of yourself and then boom. But no, it is not. It's like, it's certain pictures you have to send. And then also it's like, you have to be that certain look that the agency wants. And then sometimes their needs change. So it's like literally you could submit today and like they don't want to book you or like sign you. Or you could literally submit in the next 3 to 6 months again to the same agency, and they go ahead and they want to sign you basically immediately. There's actually this one girl on Twitter. I have no idea what her name is. I saw this like, when did I see this? I feel like I saw this at some point last year. Well, there's one girl, she submitted to an agency like 3 times in like the past, I think 3 years, and she finally got signed. It wasn't a big agency. I think it was an agency like somewhere in her state or something, or maybe a medium-sized agency. I don't really know. And it was finally the 3rd time is when it just worked for her. So I'm still looking and trying not to get discouraged and stuff like that. But hey, that's life, homie. If they were to actually open back up, and if they were to ask me like, hey, Sarah, you want to be signed with us again? Would I take it? Honestly, I think I would. And just see how long it would last. Because, like, I mean, if it doesn't work out for me, you know, I could just always get out of the contract. Their contract actually wasn't really all that bad, I think. I think it was like maybe a 2-4 year contract or something like that. I think so. But also they said if you just wanted to get out of it, you could just get out of it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. They weren't really all that, you know, like hard pressed. Like, you're going to stay here for this many years because you signed a contract, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, that was great. So would I go ahead and sign with them again? I probably would if they were to ask me. Now, I'm about to do my eyeliner and I can't talk while doing this. So, see you in a second. Eyeliner is so uneven. That blue liner did something. Okay, okay. Honestly, I cannot wait to get a camera that actually autofocuses when I move, because like that blue liner did a thing. Oh, this liner was so hard to take off in my hand. Ooh, I'm gonna be struggling later on when I take off my makeup. That at least means it's not gonna move. Signing to a modeling agency is not hard for like a lot of people. Like, some people could just go ahead and submit to the biggest agency that allows submissions, and then boom, they just get signed. But usually it doesn't work like that. There's steps to this, which I recently had to learn. Like, girl, there are steps to this. You gotta start off with a smaller agency first, and then try to work your way up to the bigger ones. So that's probably why that agency keeps ignoring me. Or maybe they just don't like me. You know, it is what it is. This is turning a lot more blue than what I wanted it to be, but oh well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on their 3D foaming lashes in the style Terry, and I'm going to be using their super lash adhesive, a strip lash adhesive, yeah. And I'm going to be using their fat lash mascara, probably on the lower lash line. So, has anyone applied to any modeling agencies? If you were interested in being a model, you know, tell me your experiences, baby. I know that there's like a lot of horror stories on like modeling agencies and stuff like that. I haven't like really experienced anything like really bad during my time of trying to do this. I will say this, if you're someone who is either trying to become a model or becoming an actor, one thing you should never, and I mean absolutely never do, is to pay to be a part of an agency. Literally, don't do it. Those are scam agencies. They literally exist like all over the place. So yeah, please don't do it. You should not have to pay to be a part of the agency. How agencies make money, which is basically what Part and Parcel was doing, which was they were going by the rules, is they would take a percentage out of your check. So it would be like 10 to 20%. I forgot exactly what percentage Part and Parcel said in the contract, but yeah, it was basically 10 to 20% of what you would earn from booking a job would be what they would take, and then the rest would be yours. Seriously, don't go to no agency that will not only charge you to be a part of their agency, charge you to take all their damn classes, but also take a percentage out of your check. Don't do that. Also, same with managers as well. Don't pay for them to sign. For you to sign with them. Don't do that. That's not how that works. And also, if you happen to run into an agency that is trying to get you to go ahead and pay to be a part of their agency, I'm not sure if it is for models, but I know for sure for actors, you can go ahead and go on this website, which is called SAG-AFTRA, which is the union for actors. You can go on their website. Actually, no, you could actually call their phone number and you can actually report that agency. You do not have to be a SAG member to be able to call them, because usually you have to be a SAG member to use all their other services, but to call them and like ask them questions or to report an agency, you could go ahead and do it. You do not have to be a part of the SAG union to go ahead and do that. So I highly recommend doing that if you have run into an agency, heard of an agency, saw an agency that they were charging. Because I am so sick and tired of seeing all these like horror stories or reading these reviews of like these agencies that are scams, because they just feed off of the dreams of people who want this so damn bad. Like, they really prey on people who want this more than anything, and people really don't know any better. Also, people feel like that it's the faster way to actually get through it. Like, honestly, there's not really a fast way to get through these type of industries. It's like you gotta put in the time. You do have to invest money, but I say, like, if you're gonna spend money, you have to do the research on your own. So like, if you want to take acting classes, please research on your own and pick the acting class yourself, or unless your agency does suggest an acting class, that you could go to. Honestly, I don't really know how that works because like I'm not a signed actor also. So yeah, I don't really know how that works. But I say do research and then take acting classes yourself, take voice lessons yourself, take modeling classes yourself. Even though for some odd or weird reason, I don't know why modeling classes are hard to come by. To me, in my experience, they're just like hard to come by, and when they do come, they cost so much money. A lot of them are boot camps, so it's not like a once a week type thing. It's more like a several times a week type thing, and it's like, dude, I really ain't got time to be doing that. I could do like once a week, but I can't be coming here 5 times a week. I have a job. Well, I mean, back then, now it's like I have all the time in the world. Also, just try your hardest not to get discouraged. Oh, I'm using a different brush and bronzer from a different brand, so. I mean, you could recognize the brush if you would see my last, brand of the month. Yeah, try not to get discouraged because not only, agencies change their mind a lot, but also agencies pop up all over the place. And you kind of do have to be careful of the smaller ones. But I mean, like I said, if they ain't charging you money to be a part of their agency, like when you do like the initial meeting and stuff like that, then I say, you know what, if it's a smaller agency, go ahead and go for it. Get whatever experience you can, get what you can learn from it and stuff like that. I'm not talking only about modeling agencies, I'm talking about acting agencies as well. So I'm going to be using their Perfect Blush in the shade Wispy. Wispy, 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 wispy. And it's kind of like a peachy kind of color. Girl, I don't know. I can't see. I think one of these days, I don't know when, I'll talk about, my run-ins with, scam agencies and scam managers and stuff like that. Yes, managers too, you have to watch out for. I think through SAG's website, I think you can't really report managers, but what you can do, okay, so for like actors, I know for sure what you can do is to really protect yourself, please just only like try to sign with a SAG affiliated agency or an AFTRA affiliated agency or an AEA affiliated agency. You can look all that up on their website actually and see if that place is affiliated with them in that way. So I feel like that's like one way for at least actors to protect themselves. Also, they do have like managers, I believe. So like go on their website and I guess either look up managers, or if a manager does come up to you and be like, hey, I want to sign with you. Let's have a meeting and stuff like that. You just get their name, go on the website, see if their name is on the list. And if it's not, then baby, please go somewhere else. Go away, run away, don't answer their emails, don't do nothing, just go. Also, try not to get frustrated if you are not signed by an agency, whether you're an actor or a model. I feel like when it comes to modeling, it's just a little bit harder to not get so frustrated because it looks like the really good jobs or like the ones that you kind of really want. I mean, same with acting too, but like those are the ones where it's like, dude, you definitely need an agent to be able to like those, or an agency to be able to get those kind of things. With acting, there's like kind of loopholes to get through, get the type of work that you want or that you're aiming for, or the type of work that's going to like help you in the long run. This highlighter is doing a lot of things, okay? Also, please try not to like consume yourself with so many of those stories where like this person got discovered and literally overnight they got like all these auditions for stuff or whatnot. Please don't try to consume so many of those stories, because what people don't understand that those are like the 1%, those are the outliers, those are the sexy stories that basically gets better clicks because it's like, oh my gosh, this person did this and it took them like no time to get to where they're at. But then we're forgetting about all the stories of like great actors where it took them 10 plus years to be able to just get the role that finally got them noticed. Or they didn't start acting until much later in life. Or they tried when they were younger and they had to give up to do other things that would help them in their life, and then they had to come back. Nobody's story and nobody's path is the same. Go ahead and put on the AOA Studio lipstick in Palm, and also I'm probably going to top it off with 24K. Let's just see how that's going to work. I don't know. I should have bought like different like lip colors, because I don't think this red is going to go the greatest with this. Yeah, red probably wasn't the smartest for this, but it's too late. We already here. Woo! Whoa! 24K is crazy bright. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set my face with their A+ setting spray. It locks in your makeup. So let's go ahead and do that. Kind of smells like a skincare product. I don't... Oh, okay. Everything's fine, but I don't remember what skincare product it reminded me of. But okay, I'm going to go and fix everything else, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is it for this makeup look. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all enjoyed the story. Sorry if I wasn't as like funny and entertaining as I have been in my past few video. Well, in this video that I have been in my past. I think you know what I'm trying to say. I was basically trying to remember the story because it's been, well, a year since it happened, and over a year since I have signed with them. And you know, I was just kind of, you know, being honest of, you know, how like it's like hard and discouraging to try to, I should have put on hoops. That would have looked real cute. But yeah, just being honest how like it is discouraging, you know, trying to get back into it. I mean, like I was like, you know, applying to all types of, not all types of agencies, but applying to acting and modeling agencies for years. And when I finally got into something, you know, made me feel great. And then when it was just taken away, I'm just like, great, why even try again? But I'm basically trying to try, and hopefully I'll be signed to something one of these days. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Also comment down below what products were you know, kind of glad to see, you know, in this video. Didn't really talk too much about my thoughts on the products. I am going to be doing more in-depth videos about it, but this is how they perform. I basically wanted to show you like how they, you know, performed on the face and whatnot, you know, in action and stuff like that. And also tell me your stories if you have any stories, or if you know any stories from anybody else that's kind of similar to mine or whatnot. Or I mean, if you're trying to also do the same thing as me, but you know, it is what it is. And if you are subscribed, please click that notification bell so you get notified every time I post. And if you are not subscribed, please do, because we're trying to get this channel to 2,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is August 14th. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.
Comigo, do fuzil no seu brilhinho, eu vou